Sometime in 1989, Russian scientists in Siberia had drilled boreholes some 14.5 kilometers deep into the Earth's crust. The drill broke through into a cavity and the scientists lowered some equipment to see what was down there. The temperature was about 1,100 degrees Celsius, about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. As they lowered the sophisticated microphone equipment, they heard horrifying sounds and screams of the damned. Convinced that these sounds might have been coming from hell, many of the scientists quit the job site immediately. Those that stayed were in for an even bigger shock that night. A plume of luminous gas burst out of the borehole. The shape of a gigantic wind demon unfolded, and the words "I have conquered" in Russian were seared into flames. As a final touch of weirdness, medics were reported to have given everyone on the site a dose of sedative to erase their short-term memory. As the story spread, not everyone was convinced. The first obvious fact was that there was no such borehole in Siberia. However, there was one in the Kola Peninsula in the northwestern region of Russia. In 2002, the creepy recording was played on Art Bell's Coast to Coast FM. Art Bell then played the recording, and ever since then it's been widely circulated. Art Bell, a name synonymous with late-night radio and paranormal investigations, led a life full of intrigue, mystery, and groundbreaking broadcasts. The creepy recordings were sent to Art Bell with a message that read, "I just recently began listening to the radio show. I could not believe it when you talked about the sounds from hell tonight. My uncle had told me this story a couple of years ago and I didn't believe him. Like one of your listeners who discounted the story as nothing more than just religious newspaper fabricated accounts. The story about the digging and hearing the sounds from hell is very real, and it did occur in Siberia. My uncle collected videos on the paranormal and supernatural. He passed away fairly recently. He let me listen to one of the audio tapes that he had on sounds from hell in Siberia, and I copied it." He goes on to say he received this copy from a friend who worked at the BBC. Attached is the sound from my uncle's tapes. The audio is pretty disturbing and seems to depict screaming souls in damnation. The Soviet super deep borehole isn't alone. During the Cold War, there was a race by superpowers to drill as deep as possible into the Earth's crust. At the time of recording with heat-tolerant microphones at 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, there shouldn't be anything living at that depth, in those temperatures. Like with most urban legends, there's an element of truth to it. Since its publicity, many alternative versions of the Well to Hell story have been published. In 1992, the US tabloid Weekly World News published an alternative version to the story. In a famous quote, "Heroes get remembered, but legends never die."